Hi there. On vacation, huh? Having a good time in Boston? I see you've got the new Polaroid 8mm video system there. Fun, isn't it? I'm sure you're appreciating the lightweight portability of your camcorder. Everything's right there in your hand, and it's just about 4 pounds, battery and all. And how about that through-the-lens viewing? Whatever you see through the lens is exactly what you'll get on the final video picture. Great sound recording too, right? Very sensitive and lifelike. And best of all, the camcorder's so simple to use. It's a great way to keep a record of all your best times. You know something, though? It's because of that wonderful simplicity of operation that you can so easily expect too much of your first attempts. This is your first attempt, isn't it? Well, just remember that as with any other new activity, some practice will help you to get really good at this. And again, as with other activities, there are a few tips and hints that can improve your chances of success right from the start. The battery goes in its special compartment in the handle of the camcorder. Just slide the battery in. It's keyed to fit only one way, so you can't put it in wrong. After inserting the battery, just snap the door closed. Now, let's attach the handle to the camcorder. Because it's so important that the handle be securely attached, the latch is a little more complicated. But all you have to do is squeeze in this safety latch in the side while pushing in this center button. Then, while holding in the button, line up the arrows on the handle with the slots on the camcorder, and just push the handle on. Release the button and make sure it's secure. Look for the white stripe on the safety latch. Very good. That leaves only one more thing to install. Right, you've got to load an 8mm Polaroid Supercolor video cassette, or you won't be recording any pictures at all. Each 90-minute cassette goes into this holder on the side of the camcorder. To open it, first turn on the power, back here with a switch. Hear the motor? Then push the eject button to open the cassette holder. Make sure the red sliding tab on the back of the cassette is in the open position. Insert it with the windows facing up, then press the holder back in place. That's all there is to setting up your camcorder. So let's just move right along, okay? How about taking some shots? First, you need to adjust the camcorder for your eyesight and for the lighting conditions you're going to be shooting in. Oh, okay, if you're going to be the one shooting, then we'll adjust the eyepiece to your eye. It's easily readjustable each time a different person shoots. The eyepiece has both a locking and adjustment ring. First, loosen the outer locking ring. Then set the lens of the camcorder to maximum zoom and the focus to infinity. Now, place your fingers on the eyepiece adjustment ring so you know where it is, and look through the eyepiece while you aim the camcorder at any well-lit object in the distance. A sign will do. Turn the adjustment ring until you've got the sharpest image you can get. It may be just a subtle change in some cases, but it makes a difference in the sharpness of your pictures. Then lock it in place with a locking ring, and the eyepiece is adjusted for your eyesight. Next, since we're outdoors, set the indoor-outdoor lighting switch to the sun position. Now for the next adjustment, and this one is just as important. See that white button on the front of the camcorder? That's the white balance adjustment. In order to record the truest possible colors, your camcorder has to be told what white looks like under different lighting conditions. So let's set the white balance for this light. All you need is anything white. A wall, shirt. Good thinking. A white handkerchief will do. Just aim the camcorder at it and be sure the frame is entirely filled with white. Now, while aiming at the white object, press the white balance button on the front of the camcorder and hold it in for a few seconds. The W in your viewfinder will flicker as the camera is balancing itself. Release the button. A steady W means the white balance has been set. Now the camcorder is adjusted for this and similar lighting conditions. But remember, if you move to a place with different light, you've got to reset the white balance, okay? That leaves just one more adjustment to check, and that's, the normal or backlit switch. If your subject is strongly lit from behind or is against a bright background like sand on a beach or sky, like those people up there, for instance, you'll want to set this switch in the backlit or BLC position. Otherwise, your subject will be underexposed. But for this kind of normal lighting, set the switch to, you guessed it, normal. And that's it. You're ready to shoot some pictures. Let's get everybody together and shoot some pictures. Okay, I'm sure you've taken plenty of snapshots with still cameras, haven't you? Well, in those cases, any movement of the camera was stopped by the taking of the picture. This is different, though. These are moving pictures. If the camera is shaky, the results will be shaky as well. To get those steady shots, you'll need to hold the camcorder correctly. Since you're right-handed, hold the grip in your right hand. Use your forefinger to operate the recording button on the front of the handle. With your left hand, cradle the front of the camcorder so that you can turn the focusing ring on the lens with your thumb and forefinger, and your thumb can also reach the power zoom switch. How's that feel? Comfortable and steady? Good. Now, let's check the focus before you shoot. How's it looking there? Whoa, not too sharp, is it? Let's get that handsome bunch into perfect focus. Ah, there we go. That's the way they should look. Here's a helpful reminder. If what you're shooting is farther away than 30 feet, and this distance is greater than 30 feet, then set the focus ring to infinity and your subject will be sharp. Then you only have to manually adjust the focus when you're shooting a subject that's closer than 30 feet. So, just squeeze the trigger. Wait a few seconds, and now you're ready to shoot your intended subject. Hear anything? It doesn't sound like it's working, does it? Are you sure the power switch is on? The camcorder is so quiet when it's running that the only way you can tell it's recording is by looking through the eyepiece. Okay, ready? Start shooting. See that green V light up? That means the camera's on and you're recording. Not only pictures, but crisp sound as well. There you go. You want to try some more techniques? Yes, I guess it's only fair that we let Dad have a turn. Oh, very good. She's remembered that whenever you change operators, you've got to readjust the eyepiece. Remember how to do that? Terrific. Now, how about learning how to zoom? Zooming is a very useful camera move that can add a lot to your pictures. This is a zoom out. And this is a zoom in. Yes, you can do that with your Polaroid system. Do you see the large switch on the side of your camcorder? That's the zoom power switch. It allows you to make smooth zooms at a constant speed. Pushing the switch toward the T zooms in, and pushing it toward the W zooms out. You can also work the zoom manually at any speed you want. But there are a couple of things you should know about zooms. First of all, you'll often find that your zoom-ins will have a tendency to go out of focus. That's just because of the way lenses work. You can eliminate that problem simply by setting up the shot before you shoot it. Without recording, just zoom in and focus. Then zoom back out to where you want your shot to start. Now, when you turn on the camcorder, you can zoom into your pre-focus position and it stays in focus. Shaky zooms, zooms that are too fast, and the overuse of zooms are more likely to be distracting than entertaining. The same is true of pans. A pan is when you move the camcorder sideways. Pans that are too fast are not very pleasant to watch. You have to pan considerably slower than you'd normally move your eyes. Why don't you try some pans and zooms? By holding the camcorder properly and with a little practice, you can be doing some pretty fancy camera work in no time. Go ahead and try some moves. Very nice, you're doing just fine. Ah, very nice zoom too. See that red U? That simply means you've got less than the ideal amount of light to shoot with. It doesn't necessarily mean, though, that you shouldn't shoot. Your colors may be less than brilliant, but in most cases you'll get very satisfactory pictures anyway. Go ahead, experiment with the lighting and see what happens. I'll meet you back outside when you're finished. Well, I think I've told you most of what you want to know about operating your camcorder. By the way, did you get the gum off your shoe? There's really only one more thing I should tell you about. Look through the eyepiece. See that red B in there? Know what that means? It means the battery is about to run out and you'd better replace it with a fresh one. One way to get more out of your batteries is to turn off the power switch when you're not shooting. Each battery lasts about 45 minutes. That's 45 minutes of sitting around with the power on whether you're shooting or not. Now, let's look at some of your shots. With the mini video system, there's no need to wait. You can view your pictures instantly and easily by using the playback deck, a multi-purpose unit that allows you to view your recorded tapes, attractively store the video system, charge batteries, and and even edit your tapes by dubbing onto a second VCR. Hooked up to your TV or VCR, the deck's a real convenient companion to the camcorder, and easy to operate. Just remove the camcorder handle. Place the camcorder containing the recorded tape snugly in its cradle, close the connector cover, and press the buttons. First, power. The standby light indicates the system's ready to go. Then, press the TV VCR and the rewind button. When the tape stops moving, press play. Oh, beautiful footage. And that's just the kind of quality you can expect with your Polaroid 8mm video system. Beautiful color, sharp, clean image, a real pleasure to watch. But if you forget to set the white balance for a new light condition, this is what happens. Not quite right, is it? Certainly not as nice as this one. Oops, what happened here? This looks like an improperly set indoor-outdoor switch. Ah, now here's an interesting shot. Notice that the subject is strongly backlit and appears too dark. This shot could have been saved by using the backlit setting instead of normal. Oh, there we are. Someone realized it. See how much better that looks? But oops, what's this? Looks to me like somebody forgot to refocus the eyepiece when a new person started shooting. Ah, there we go. Somebody remembered. Much better. Uh-oh, remember I said that you can shoot even when the red U light's up? Well, there are obviously limits to how far you can take that. If you find yourself in a place where you'd say, I really wouldn't take a snapshot in here without a flash, then you probably shouldn't expect to get too much on videotape either. But most of the time, you'll be getting images as good as this, crisp, bright, and colorful. Further details, tips, and assistance can be found in your owner's manual. Any questions? Yes.
No questions. We'd just like to thank you for your help.
Hey, my pleasure. That's what we're here for.